So just for this hour, might be a little longer, we're just gonna come into the present moment. So we'll center and ground. And anything you don't understand of what I'm doing, just go with it. Don't try to figure it out. Just enjoy the practice. If you need to open your eyes and look at me and see what I'm doing, that's great too. Okay? So find a comfortable seat. We're going to sit up nice and tall, but not rigid. So you want to be nice and tall to let the breath flow through your body nice and easy. If you're slumping, that's pretty hard to do. So you want the energy flowing through your body. Put your hands in your lap any way that's comfortable for you, palms up or palms down, and close your eyes if that feels good for you. Tilt your chin towards your heart, but don't jet your head forward. Let your ears be over your shoulders. And that activates the parasympathetic nervous system, the calming aspect of your nervous system. And just settle into your breath. You don't have to worry about counting your breath or anything like that, but just settle into it and just notice it. Notice the depth and the speed of it. So you want to slow everything down and use the whole capacity of your lungs. So if you were using the whole capacity of your lungs, when you breathe in, your belly would expand. And then when you breathe out, your belly would deflate like a balloon. So let's take some breaths here. And let the breath bring you into the present moment. So as you breathe in, let's breathe in prana, life force, healing energy. And as you exhale, let's let go of any stresses of the day or any stresses that may happen when we finish this class. Let it all go for this hour. So we're going to be doing some prana healing, which is just energy that we all have. And we're going to rub our hands together. So we're going to place our hands in front of our heart. And if you want to just open your eyes and just look at what I'm doing, you can do that. So place your hands in front of your heart and rub together quite vigorously. So you create heat between the palms of your hands. So there's a lot of healing energy in the palms of your hands. So I'm a Reiki master. If you've ever seen Reiki, they heal with their hands. So we're going to activate that a little bit because we all have it. So rub, rub, rub. Then we're going to separate our hands about 6 to 8 inches apart. Keep your fingers closed to get the energy in between the palms of our hands. And bring your hands in and out without touching them. You may feel a magnetic pull, tingling, heat. You may feel nothing at all, but know that that energy is there. So we're going to bring our hands to a place on your body, mental or physical, that you would like this healing energy to go to. So I'm bringing my hands to my heart. So if you can't think of an area, bring your hands to your heart center for love and compassion for yourself. And just take some nice deep breaths here. The breath makes the cells vibrate and heal. And imagine this beautiful white light filling up this area, wiping away any pain, sickness, anxiety, anger, sadness. And instead filling this area with good health, love, compassion, gratitude. Take a couple of more breaths here. And bring your hands back to the center of your chest, your heart. And let us join together with the universal sound of Om that connects us all together on the exhale. When you feel ready, you can open your eyes. So again, I want to let you know that the room is very bright so you can see me. So I hope in your environment that you can dim your lights as much as you can, that you have quiet that you need, that you have the comfort that you need. So it's not so much about the props since you're not here, but more that you find comfort in the poses that we go into. So we'll be doing 4 poses. We're going to hold for about 7 minutes each pose. And I don't play music. I do play music live, very, very low. But for these classes, I've been choosing not to because it really distracts my voice. It's really hard to hear me. So this practice is a lot of introspection. And if you've ever had trouble meditating, just think of it as an hour and 15-minute meditation that in real life will help with everyday life, making better choices, feeling calmer and more relaxed. So I will try to explain more as I go. And you're going to see that I'm not going to be talking too much once we get into the pose. So in restorative yoga, it's not okay to be okay. And what I mean by that is if I asked you, how are you feeling in the pose? And if you just said, I'm okay, I want you to be very comfortable in your pose. So find a position that feels really good. I'll try to explain as much as I can on camera. And then you find a position that really, really works with you. And while you're in the pose, if you feel like you have to take care of any kind of business or if you feel agitated at all, take care of that and either come back to the pose or find something else that resonates with you. We will be doing a 20-minute savasana, which is the final resting pose, which can be quite long for some. But again, if in that final resting pose you feel uncomfortable, feel free to come out of it. I'm not seeing you, so I won't even know, but I hope you enjoy the practice. So the first pose is either legs up the wall or chair. So I'm gonna shift the camera over so you can see my wall. If you don't have like an empty wall, we can use a chair. So I'm gonna give you both variations. So you're gonna come over with me. I'm gonna switch the camera so you can see me over there. So you can see a chair and the wall. So at the very least, hopefully you have a pillow for underneath your head or for on top of the chair so your legs can go. So I'm going to show you the wall first. So if you have a bare wall, bring one of your hips. I usually use my left hip. I don't know why, I just do. I'm going to swing my legs up the wall. I know, Lou, you know this pose. And the closer you get to the wall with your legs being straight, the more you're going to feel it in the back of the legs. And again, restorative yoga is not about stretching. It's the art of doing nothing. So you want to rely on the props and the earth. Okay, so if you have to back off the wall, that's fine. So you bring your legs up, put the pillow under your head, and if you have a washcloth or an eye pillow, that would be really, really great to put it over your eyes. And if you have a blanket, if you feel chilly, because your body temperature is going to go down because we're not doing much. Okay, so that's one of the elements, is to be warm. All those elements will bring down the nervous system. Okay, so that's one way of doing it. You're going to turn to your side and never just pop up in restorative yoga. It's usually really nice to just turn to your side and get up that way. So if you have a chair, hopefully you have a chair around, put a pillow or a blanket up on the chair. And again, just bring your legs up on the chair. You could do like a 90-degree angle on the chair. And again, if you have a blanket or an eye pillow, that would be great. Dim your lights and have a pillow under your head. So that would be great too. So I'm going to leave you guys to get into position. And I'm going to go sit on my mat. I like to spread a blanket over my mat. It's comfortable. I'm going to turn the camera over to me. And we'll hold this pose for about 7 minutes. And again, Annie, if you're with me, I know 7 minutes may feel like a really, really long time, especially if you're new to restorative yoga. And again, if you feel uncomfortable, you do whatever you need to do to be okay. I don't want you not feeling okay. So do whatever you need to do to feel okay. But try to just dig deep into the pose. Settle into your breath. I'm going to remind you both to come back to the sensations in your body, how you're feeling. We disassociate from our body during our day. I don't think many people will all of a sudden stop and say, oh, how am I feeling in my body? So use this time to feel. And then I'll ask you to come back to your breath. So I'll remind you of that. So this pose calms the nervous system. It stretches the hamstrings, which are in the back of the thighs. We connect to the earth in this pose. The head lower than the legs gets the blood flowing to the heart and the brain cells. So it's very nourishing. It's great for the lymphatic circulation. Thoughts start to wander, which they will. Come back to the sensations in your body and your breath. Take a few more breaths here. So in restorative yoga, you want to be very gentle going into poses, very gentle coming out of poses. So come on out. If you're on the wall, bring your legs down very slowly. If you're on the chair, you may bring your knees into your chest. Either way, go to either side in like a cocoon, like a little rolled up ball, and do intuitively what the body needs to do. Any kind of stretches or whatever feels good for you. The body always knows. Take a few breaths. Notice how you feel. So you're going to take a look at me. I'm going to try to do the next pose with just a pillow and hopefully your washcloth or something to cover your eyes. And like I said, it's really important to keep warm and have a really, really conducive environment for restorative yoga. So hopefully you have it. So we're going to do a spinal twist, very mild spinal twist. So if you only have a pillow, so hopefully you have a pillow, anything from a bed, a couch pillow, anything. You're going to lay down on your back, elongate your right leg, fold up your left leg and bring your left foot above your knee. Grab your left knee and bring it over to land on your pillow. And if you have any issues with flexibility or anything like that, or you need a modification, you're gonna put more pillows here and load your leg up higher, okay? If you feel like you can open up your chest, you can make your arms go out into a T up on top. If you'd like to look at your left hand, you can do that. That'll open up and give more openness in the body. But if you feel like you just want to relax, you can roll over. Just place your knee on that pillow. Okay? If you don't have any pillow, just try to bring your leg close as you can to the floor without causing any issues in the lower back. But hopefully you have something to prop up your knee, okay? If you happen to have a bolster, something high, that would be great. You lay your left leg on there. If bringing your arms out into a T is too much, and just bring your arms down towards the center of your body. And again, dim your lights. We'll stay on each side for about 3.5 minutes. And then we're going to gently go to the other side without too much disturbance with your piece. Put your eye pillow on or your washcloth. Dim your lights, put a blanket on if you want, and let go. So it's impossible to be anxious and relaxed at the same time. So let's choose to be relaxed for this little time that we have together. So even in this mild spinal twist, we are squeezing out stress and anxieties of the day. Massages the back and the hips. It helps hydrate the spinal disc. It lengthens and relaxes and realigns the spine. It massages the abdominal organs and strengthens the abdominal muscles and helps to remove toxins. And taking your time, I want you to make your way to the other side. So you will lengthen your left leg. Place your pillow on the other side. Bring your right foot above that knee. Take your left hand, bring your right leg over to the side. And like I said, if you don't have the flexibility to kind of do that, hopefully you have a lot of pillows to load that left leg up higher, left knee up higher. And you can leave your arms at your side, or you can make your arms out into a T, opening up your chest, looking up at the ceiling until you actually close your eyes once you get settled in. You can look over at your right hand, settle in. Notice the sensations in your body. Come back to your breath. Take a few more breaths here. And again, unravel. Take your time coming out of this pose. Do intuitively whatever the body feels it needs to do. Stretch out your body. Bring your knees to your chest. Do little circles for your back. Whatever your body is calling you out to do. And integrate. And just notice how you feel. Hopefully your nervous system is coming down. So all this introspection is so good for in real life. Like I said, you're able to think more clearly, make better decisions. It's an accumulative process. So it carries off the mat, carries way off the mat, the benefits. Okay. The next pose I like to do a lot is recline bound angle, which opens up the whole front of the body. And for those who come to my class, this is usually when I will chant, and I won't get into that, but it's a healing chant. And I'm a Reiki master, so I would ask them if there was anywhere that they would need any healing energy in their body or their head, mentally. So I'd like you just to, while we're in this pose, just imagine for yourself, like we did in the beginning, that healing prana, beautiful energy, just going to an area that you'd like that healing to go to in this open pose. If your thoughts and actions shape your reality, it's very true that if you think of this area that you'd like this energy to go to, it's proven that that happens. So where your thoughts go, the energy goes. So the recline bound angle, I will do it without any props. It's not probably as yummy, but we'll do what we have to do, because not everybody has things to work with. So the most easiest way to do it is just laying on your back. Put your feet together in butterfly and just letting your legs go out. So you're opening up in the inner thigh. Again, it's not about stretching. So it would be a really good idea here, if you are just using the floor as your prop, to have maybe a pillow under your head. And if you had even pillows or books to put under your legs, to kind of relieve you from quote unquote stretching too much, because you don't want to really stretch. But we want to be open. So that's with not anything. If you happen to have couch pillow, put it the length of your spine, okay, and bring your lower back to the end of your pillows. Hold on to them so they're not going anywhere, and kind of just lay back so you're even open up even more in your front body, in your heart. You're able to accept this love that I'm sending to you and this healing. Okay? If you happen to have a bolster, use the bolster in place of the pillow. And again, something underneath your legs. And dim your lights. Put your washcloth at your eye pool of your eyes. Put a cover over you. And we'll be here for about 7 minutes. So settle in. So of course, this pose opens up your heart and your abdomen and your pelvis. And the biggest thing lately that I find with this pose is that it counteracts being hunched over all day at the computer. Most of us working from the computer now with what's going on. So we are constantly looking over, our shoulders are hunched over. So think of this as just opening and breathing a sigh of relief. calms the nervous system, relieves stress and fatigue. Being in the state of bringing down the nervous system helps to heal the body. Being a nurse, we learn that that is the way we heal, is when we are not so anxious. So we aren't in that fight or flight, which we are most days, whether we realize it or not, especially now. So being in this state of calm, bringing the nervous system down, this is the state we want to be in to be able to heal emotionally and physically. Take a few more breaths here. And again, be very gentle with your body coming out of the pose. If your legs were apart, bring them together very gently. Take as long as you need to do whatever the body feels that it needs to do. And have some introspection. Feel how your body feels, how your mind feels. Since you started the practice, hopefully you feel a little bit more peaceful, relaxed. Take some nice deep breaths. Sometimes you need to make noise with your breath. Sometimes that relieves stress from the body. So if you need to make noise, make noise. It's only you. There, I can't hear you. Nobody else hears you. Just breathe the way you want to breathe. So our last pose before Shavasana is the child's pose, which we go from being very open and vulnerable to the child's pose, which is actually just being very safe and secure, sort of like a cocoon. Lou, if you want to do the tree, that's better for you, then do it. And this is the tree. Laying down tree, bring that knee up and just rest your head on your hand and your arms like this. Bring that right leg up, and then I'll ask you to switch after about 3.5 minutes. Annie, you can do this one too. Can you see me? So I'm just laying on my belly and I'm bringing that right leg up. It's just some people have knee problems and it's hard to get in child's pose. So that's one variation. Child's pose without any props. Bring the big toes together. Spread your knees apart, and you're just going to drop the body down the middle of your leg. You can prop up your head with your forearms, or if you have a pillow, you can use that pillow. Okay? If you have a few pillows, you can put the pillows in between your legs, like if you were to have a bolster, and you would just drape your body over and just hug the pillow and just turn your head to one side. Okay? Either way, you are very grounded to the earth, face down. So about 3 minutes with your head turned to one side, and then after 3 minutes, I'll ask you to turn your head to the other side. Unless that doesn't feel comfortable for you, then keep your head the way it is. Sink in. So either way you're doing this, whether it's the laying face down tree or child's pose, we are very grounded to the earth, very safe. It's a very safe pose. It stretches the hips and the thighs. Again, this relieves stress and fatigue and anxiety. It improves mental focus, relaxes the muscles on the front of the body, and passively stretches the muscles on the back of the body. So you've heard of meditation, and you hear a lot of times with teachers how they talk about if your thoughts are wandering, come back to an anchor. And to me, an anchor sounds very rigid. There's nothing wrong with it, but I like to use the analogy of a perch, which I feel is very light and fluttery. And if my thoughts are going crazy, I kind of come back to that picture of a perch and maybe a hummingbird or a butterfly flying off and on the perch, off and on the perch. And to me, that's what thoughts are like. They just come and then they go. So I like to think very lightly of my thoughts and not dwell on them too much. Maybe you want to use that analogy, maybe not. But it helps me when my thoughts are going a little crazy. Well, if your leg is up low, then you want to switch and do the other leg and turn your head. And Annie, if you're in a child's pose, or you want to turn your head the other way if that feels comfortable for you. Take a few more breaths here. And again, please come out gently. Treat your body lovingly. Take your time. You may want to sit in introspection and just notice how you feel. So we're going to go into Shavasana. Lou, you know, 20 minutes we stay in Shavasana. Annie, Shavasana is our final resting pose. We rest deeply and completely. So it takes about 15 minutes for the body to actually relax very deeply to sort of, I don't know if you've heard of the monkey mind, where those thoughts kind of simmer down after 15 minutes. So I like to do 20 minutes so you relax fully. And you may think, what's the difference between this and sleeping? Well, if you think about sleeping, sometimes we wake up and we're like, I had the worst night's sleep, or I didn't sleep well, or so Shavasana is a little bit different in that respect. If the goal is not to go to sleep, but somebody last night in the practice did fall asleep and woke up an hour later, that's not the goal. But if you do fall asleep, then you need it. So don't worry about it. So the goal of Shavasana also is to get completely very, very comfortable. So traditional Shavasana, if you didn't have any props, is just laying on your back and your feet will fall out. Your hands and your arms are separated from your body about 6 inches with palms up. And you would just close your eyes, make sure your lights are off and you're warm. If you happen to have a pillow, that would be great. Put your head on a pillow. Put your washcloth or your eye pillow, whatever you have, over your eyes. Make sure you hopefully have a blanket because your body temperature will go down. If you feel like you need to go to the bathroom, please go to the bathroom before we begin. And if during Shavasana it's uncomfortable, do whatever you need to do to relieve yourself. Okay? Because if you're uncomfortable, it's not doing anybody good. If you happen to have a bolster or pillows to put underneath your knees, that would be really wonderful because that would take the pressure off your lower back. If we're lying here for 20 minutes, you may feel like you have too much pressure on the lower back. So this lifting up your knees will help that. Okay, so hopefully I gave you some good alternatives there. At the very least, just cover yourself, put something over your eyes, lower your lights, be warm, and enjoy. So as soon as I give you a little, I like to bring you into this state of relaxation. As soon as I do that, I'm going to lower my lights. And I will gently help you come out after 20 minutes. So hopefully you are able to relax and let go. So allow yourself to melt into the mat or the floor or your towel or your blanket. Give yourself permission to let go and surrender. And then begin a body scan. Starting with your feet, your toes, your ankles, your heels, your shins, your knees. Let them go. Feel them dissolve. Move your awareness down through the flesh, through the ligaments, through the tendons, right into the bones, right down to the marrow. Feel them melt. Your knees, your thighs, and your hips. Let them go. The lower back, your spinal column, your rib cage and lungs. Let them go. Your hands, your arms, your shoulders. Let them melt. Your neck, your jaw, your face, the back of the skull, the crown of your head. Bring everything to surrender. Now visualize a column of warm, golden sunlight penetrating the crown of your head. And as you breathe in, draw the light down through the crown, through the spine, and out the legs. And on the exhale, imagine a column of cool blue moonlight traveling up the legs up the spine and out the crown. Allow the moonlight to merge with the sunlight as you breathe, restoring the polarity in your body. Gently come back to your breath and your body. Start to move your head side to side gently. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rotate your ankles and your wrists each way. And stretch out your body. Bring your arms up overhead. Stretch out your legs. Make yourself 10 feet tall. And eventually roll to one side or the other. Gently in a cocoon. Use your bottom arm as a pillow. And take a few breaths there. Before coming up into a comfortable seat with your eyes closed. And let us bring our hands in front of our heart in prayer. Love, light, peace, and gratitude to you both. Let us chant the universal sound of Om that connects us all together. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. I wish you peace, peace, peace. Namaste. May you live like the lotus at home in the muddy water. Have a beautiful evening. I hope you have a beautiful night's sleep.